Yeah.
And so, there are some unique things that we've done as a service provider to be able to get the service out to the locations where the oil and gas companies are operating. We've done a lot of distributed picocells in facilities. We've actually built mobile cell sites where we've built a cell site on a vessel that travels around the Gulf of Mexico to be able to provide coverage in areas that we typically can't provide from some of the fixed sites. And so, the applications are pretty diverse in regards to the needs of the oil and gas companies, because if you can imagine, they have fairly large facilities offshore, ranging from 50 people to several hundred people, and basically what we're trying to do is extend their corporate networks offshore. And so they run applications like Oracle or SAP, and you've got to overcome the complications of either running those applications over satellite and or terrestrial facilities that are extended to some of these remote areas.
I think I'm going to give a specific example, since I can, of something that's actually onshore as opposed to offshore as well. So pretty much landlocked, the province of Alberta. We're a Canadian company, so we deal with the folks in Canada quite a bit. And specifically in Alberta, what the oil company that we were working with wanted to do was reduce OPEX. So that was their main focus, was to reduce the OPEX. They didn't want that recurring monthly cost that was associated with all of their rigs as well as their pumper trucks. So what we did is we came in and we proposed a private network for them, where it was a capital expense, obviously, on the front end, but we provided not just the equipment for it, but we did design, the RF design, the tower construction, everything from end to end, as well as providing licensed spectrum, which we own a variety of in 3.5 and 2.3 across Canada. So for them, what they were using it for at the rig was sensor monitoring, which is a very low bandwidth application, of course, and in some locations they were doing security cameras, and that was the new installation that they were doing. And the cameras weren't just for external security for the site, but they were also for security for staff whenever they were on site. So it would automatically be able to send warnings, I guess, back to their central office if they had an issue with any of their locations, be it either a personnel-related issue or a security-related issue. And then on the pumper trucks, it was a nomadic application. They didn't want mobility at all, in fact, on it. So it was specifically whenever the pumper trucks were stopped at a site, and allowed them to have communications anywhere inside of the footprint where they actually had deployed. I guess completely separate from that example, the other thing that we're seeing more and more of now is on the fleet management side. So we're seeing more people installing advanced mobile gateways, for lack of a better term, or modems across their fleets. And the fleets are very, very disparate. You've got your fluid hauling, you've got the pumper trucks, you've got a variety of different guys who are out there. Some of them are internal staff, some of them are external contractors. And in that case, it's the logistics behind it that's a big driving factor, as well as safety, where you need to have man-down scenarios and a way of actually knowing whether or not something happens to any of the folks out there.
Gotcha. Hector?
Yes, our company serves both the onshore and offshore quite extensively, and where the traditional wireless is not going to reach is traditionally where we're specialists on providing VSAT. The drilling business operates in some of the most harsh regions of the world. Any of you that followed the BP Macondo tragedy in the Gulf of Mexico and understand the challenges that are faced by the industry, and simply how technology, even as extensive as it is today, still has challenges in controlling what could turn into a catastrophic event. And having reliable comms in those kind of situations to be able to provide video feeds or other things that you see coming in from those kind of sites become very critical to the industry, and more so these days as tighter regulations and other things are going to be implemented because of these tragedies. We see more opportunities developing for the industry, the wireless industry as a whole. I don't think the industry as a whole understands how to capitalize on that opportunity just yet, because the remoteness of these areas. When you have a drilling rig that may cost $1 billion to build, but it's going to operate in the middle of the ocean someplace, and you're only going to have 100 or 200 tenants on there. Who's going to want to build out some sort of a wireless technology that's going to reach those 200 tenants on the rig? So the only way you're going to be able to provide these types of services is through VSAT. VSAT happens to be probably the least preferred form of communication medium because there's latency and other issues just because of the distance of the satellite, and so applications, voice, and other things become more challenged. And any of you that have ever talked over a satellite phone, you'll know kind of the delay and other issues that are experienced with that. So I think the industry is looking for some way to get more robust throughput, the 3G and 4G type speeds, and kind of that type of environment. And unfortunately today, technology is just not there. You have companies that are launching new satellites. You have Ka-band solutions, which are promising higher throughputs and more robust networks. But this is a significant challenge for the industry because video applications, monitoring, and other things are going to become more and more necessary for them to operate in these harsh environments. And so the industry is looking for a way to offer high throughputs in this environment.